RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpion, the New England representative, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do is LB, Bada Del Boss, aka Shuttleworth the God, the GOAT artist, Soul Wars creator, RingGangRadio.com in the building.
Yes, sir. Ring Gang in the house forever and always. And as always, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what's good? You already know who this is. Your boy King P, Bodega Boxer in the building. Ring Gang Radio all day, every day, twice on Sundays. Let me bring that back. Ring Gang Radio all day, every day, twice on Sundays.
Hey.
Hell yeah.
That's what it is, yo. And as always, man, I know, it's Sunday, so I know you're taking a little break from fighting crime, as always, because, Sundays are for, worship and
so
for
Sunday,
rest.
yes, Sundays is for the Lord's, is the Lord's Day, and uppercut days, too.
Hey, that's what it is. You know what I mean? So, as always, man, we do salute you for your service, keeping our cities, our cities safe, from all types of, ill shit out there, especially in your neck of the woods, man. Definitely salute you for your service, man. And last but certainly not least, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
What's good? It's your boy Conscious Pilot, the West Coast Avenger, #1 contender, preparing for liftoff, destination Ring Gang Radio. Let's go.
That's what it is, man. Conscious Pilot is always elevating above the masses, man. You stay in the clouds, man. Can you dig it? You know what I mean? So yeah, we got a little show tonight. We'll definitely, give our opinions on Showtime summer lineup, which has some interesting fights. But before we get into that, we want to definitely review a movie that came out recently. If you've ever heard our movie reviews, we're all big fans, of action flicks or martial art flicks, anything, or pretty much anything with a lot of violence in it. For the most part.
Anything with gratuitous violence, just for the sake of gratuitous violence.
Exactly,
Whether it's live action or anime.
Or anime, yeah, exactly. Especially the anime. So we're talking about Nobody, which was a movie that's basically a man who's, he got his home invaded, and he helps certain people, that are getting harassed, and he becomes a target of a Russian drug lord. Very random. It was a very random movie too, because I know it's one of those movies that came up before it was pushed back because of COVID. It was supposed to be in the theaters, or it was supposed to be video on demand. It was one of those movies that I guess they couldn't decide until they finally like, you know what, we're gonna put this in the movies.
Yeah, it's been advertised for a while, because I remember seeing it like on Instagram, and I sent it to Pat like, yo, when this come out, like, get this, like, it should look like it's gonna be on point. And
yeah, in the trailer too.
It was.
Yeah, especially from someone who I don't necessarily think is. I know he's on Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. I don't watch those shows or whatever. But Bob Odenkirk, he's if you watch those shows, he doesn't strike me as anything like an action star or whatever like that. So, when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, okay, maybe LB's onto something with this. Usually me and LB have like similar tastes with, violent movies. So, so I had to get down.
It met the requirement.
Yeah, it's a requirement.
It's the cuffs and fucking.
Yeah, there was definitely some fuckery. So, I managed to, I came across it, through different means, and I, let the whole crew know. And, I watched mine early, like late night. So I needed to watch it late night, and I liked it. To me, it was like a John Wick and a Taken, but like a lesser version of it.
That's essentially what I thought. I'm like, this is a blue collar version of John Wick.
Yeah, I think it had the same producers.
Yeah, they did. you know, and but this one it was more vague. Where at least it's John Wick was like world building from like jump. This one was just like, you know, it just seemed like this dude was like a loser. Like his son, you know, doesn't like him.
Nobody.
Yeah, you know, his wife wasn't giving him no sex, and they were separated with pillows in between their beds. The shit was kind of sad. That was like the only sad part of the movie. I was like, man, you know, this dude looked like
the only person who respect him is his fucking daughter.
Yeah,
He was a kid. He was a little kid.
yeah,
Shit, and some of these movies are little jitty, though, like the worst one.
yeah, exactly.
That was his only release. Like, yo, if the kid would have been bad, like he would have probably off the family.
You know, that's sad to say though, but so, you know, that like, hey, it bees like that sometimes.
So it's like somebody in the family had to be some type of redeeming quality. Like it couldn't just be everybody was like pissed off at him.
You know, that's facts
Shit
too.
would have turned into fucking Falling Down with Michael Douglas.
Classic. Yo, and but by the way, for anyone who's listening, you know, this will have some spoilers on there. So if you don't want to be spoiled, you know, you might want to mute this, or if you don't care, you know, continue to listen. But yeah, you know, pretty much it was just like, you know, he's like, you know, he's just like a regular, you know, regular ass Joe with a very negative family life until one day a man and woman break into his house at gunpoint. You know, trying to get money, got his watch or whatever. His son, you know, was handling one of them, but you know, dude was like, no. Noticed that the gun wasn't loaded, and the son got eye jammied, and he got pissed. You know, that shit made me laugh though, some real shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause I was just like, it was like, I hate you, Dad. The fuck, Dad.
But I mean, the son had a good reason, because I mean, think about it, like
He had this
like, even the cops was like looking at him like, dude.
Oh, what was it?
No, the way the cop looked at him was like, yo, you wild pussy.
Yeah, yo, pussy. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, because most of us would have gave that dude a swing when he had a clear shot. You know.
Yeah, I probably would have. I mean, if that was me, I would have attempted to like break his neck at that particular point. But that's just me.
So the Pat would have like ruined the whole house, like throwing them into walls and shit.
Exactly. You know, when you throw somebody into a hard surface, you get instant results, bro.
Fuck all that. Your big ass would have just juggernaut rampaging the Xavier Mansion. Like, nah. You know, I would have just tried to lay niggas out with a couple 1-2s. Drag these niggas out my house, pile them up type shit.
I take that as an insult. Usually, if you're in my house unannounced, you know, you gotta fight for your way to get out. You know, that's, I'm dead serious. Like,
if I'm knocking nigga out, I don't want him just laying around in my house. Like, he gotta pay rent after that.
I mean, that may be so, but
free nap.
He has to fight his way out, else the coroner or the EMTs will carry him out. One or the other. I don't really care.
He could be fighting for his life.
Yeah, exactly. So it's either him or me. It's always going to be me that's going to win that.
But hold on. So, okay, let me place you in the situation with, if you was in the same situation and you saw Shorty and it was a female too, did she get the wall treatment?
I mean, is she in my house unannounced? Quite possibly, yeah.
It's a duo. Like,
yeah. They'll both
of them, just like the movie.
Yeah, no, yes, absolutely. You know, if I have a mortgage on that house and they're violating, you know, yes, it's equal opportunity. I don't care.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, I have a temperament. I'm very serious about property, but yeah.
What about y'all two, real quick? What about y'all two?
I mean, I can tell you that I have a Jason-like machete in my fucking closet, so somebody would have gotten chopped.
Damn, even Shorty?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cold world out there. Cold world.
Yeah, I mean, I would have done what I had to do to protect my family. I mean, again, I would have took the swing, so I can see why P said when the cop said you're basically a pussy, I would have took that swing.
Dude was like, man, I'll just swing just so you won't call me a pussy. Like, fuck protected. Like, I just don't want to be no bitch.
Yeah, but then the whole thing is like, I mean, that whole incident, you know, dude was just like, the whole incident was like it just made him snap mentally. Like, dude was walking around vexed after that because he felt like his manhood was taken, you know. So
I bet.
Yeah, And the funny thing is, like, obviously he found the thieves, and he was going to kill them. He was probably looking to kill them or whatever, but until he found out why they robbed him. So he kind of left at that. And then we come to the infamous bus scene. Now, if you saw the trailer, the bus scene of there, it was, on the trailer looked like it was pretty live. And the funny thing is too is just like, dude started the fight. Like, I know this. I mean, he was protecting the girl, but he literally started the fight. Like, they wasn't doing nothing to him. Like, they started the fight.
They would do. Because look how they tried to bitch up. They bitched up the one dude. Our dudes stepped on him. They started it when he walked on the bus.
Yep.
He was gonna get messed with for sure by them. Yeah, eventually.
Yeah, but I mean,
it would have fucked with everybody, bro. Like,
yeah, but once he escorted the bus driver, nicely off the bus and closed the door, then that's when the carnage happened, man. And
that was some Bronx Tale shit.
Yeah, like knives and fucking weapons and arms getting snapped against like the poles. Like there was some serious violence going on. I was like, oh shit, like people was getting fucked up.
So like a new age, like Steven Seagal, Taken, mixed in between type shit. Like it was well choreographed. It was rough. It was realistic. The camera angles.
Yeah, the one that was the brutal was the dude that got hit in the neck. Dude got
Yeah.
but then dude saves his life by like cutting a hole in his throat.
Attempts to save his life.
And put a drinking straw through it so he can breathe.
he gave them dudes some fucking it's like nobody in that movie. Like you just be lucky you died in that movie. Like dudes was getting maimed and fucked up. Like shit.
Yeah, and it escalated from there, because someone on the bus was related to the mob bus, which I mentioned earlier. So yeah, they tried to kill his ass.
And the movie just kind of goes from there without, going step by step. But
yeah, no, I mean, eventually they did actually mention, what his background was. It took a while. It took a while to get to that, and they kind of explained it in about 2 minutes or so. Why he acquired these certain set of skills.
Take your ass.
Yeah, okay, Liam Neeson.
I know, right?
Dude was an auditor. He was an assassin that was employed by like intelligence agencies to kill people that they had trouble finding or they were too difficult to like arrest or whatever. And then he got out of that life to his humdrum life because he let somebody live. that was supposed to die.
Basically, John Wick. Like
that's John. Hence the John Wick comparisons. You know what I'm saying? So he got out of that life and it was just like, you know what? I'm gonna be a home husband or whatever.
You go home and be a family man.
Pretty much, yeah. But with the mob after him, so he was forced to, they were relentless, so unfortunately he had to, he was like, you know what, I have to kill all these people now. So, his pops was, he got his pops who was who was a retired agent. And then the half brother, which I was honestly, how they explain the half brother shit, with fucking RZA as his half brother, I don't know, because RZA is very much a black man, and
speaking of that shit was funny to me though. I was texting my friend who was telling me to watch this. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna review it. I'm watching it because I'm reviewing it for the podcast, and I made a joke to her. I'm like, man, this shit fake as fuck. A Russian nigga? Ain't no niggas in Russia. And then right after I say that, dude is like, a black Russian, like with the Russian. I'm like,
the black Russian. Yeah, I was like, yo, that's. They explained it because he was like Ethiopian. The father left them. I was like, yo, like, damn, like, they even managed to flesh his character out real quick too.
This movie didn't waste no time. The only thing this movie really drilled in your head was the whole monotony of the dude's nobody type normal ass life.
Exactly.
They made sure they kept replaying that over for you to be like, look, this guy's a nobody. Yeah, he's kicking everybody's ass, but he's nobody.
Yeah.
Like, no one fucks with him.
I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, if you ask me, that's pretty good character development.
Yeah, and it's pretty good movie telling because it's like you're doing it in an efficient way that's not sacrificing the story
Right. Hey, well, Pilot,
or
what
the
was you
pacing.
saying?
Like, I applaud it.
I was agreeing with LB that there's not much filler in it other than the early beginning. Once it gets to the bus scene, it's just straight up keeps your attention for most
Yeah,
of it.
exactly.
Yeah, I think the movie wanted to really like draw you in early. That like, and almost like you kind of settle in. Like you almost get bored of this nigga life just like he is.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
wham.
And once you get to the final act, it was just a whole bunch of fuckery and blood and violence. And,
Though they turned that shit up. Though that shit went whole Rambo 5 on a nigga.
yeah, like people were getting fucked up minds and nails and all types of shit. They was really getting fucked up in the final act. RZA was doing this thing with the gun. And that still the RZA being part of this movie is also random as fuck too. Especially
But it worked though.
it worked, I
was saying that's a weird, like, you had Bob Odenkirk, RZA, and Christopher Lloyd. Like, that is the most weirdest trio in an action movie I can think of.
Yeah,
I forgot Christopher Lloyd was still alive, honestly.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since Christopher Lloyd. I mean, he's 82 years old. God damn.
That shit fucking worked.
It worked, especially because he had some kills, man. That kill in the nursing home or whatever,
Yeah, he had some badass kills.
Yeah, for an 82-year-old, like he did that shit. Like, he did that shit well. I was like, okay, I was fucking with it. And RZA had his scenes too. It was dope. But yeah, the final act was weird because he nobody he bought the whole place from his father-in-law where it was gold bars and shit. and he basically set up as like a big ass booby trap warehouse, and like I said, it was getting fucked up. Yeah, and then even and after that too, like even the ending of it, where they're like, they're trying to, we're gonna go back to our new lives or whatever, and then and they leave it on a little, they leave it open ended, pretty much, like he got a call from somebody, and I think wasn't there another scene in the credits too?
Oh yeah, with the with RZA and dude, because he was, I think, going home.
Yeah, something like that.
In the RV.
Yeah, and it had weapons in there.
It was like, we should have took the plane. They're like, not with all this shit.
Yeah. But yeah, though it was like, it didn't waste no time for like an hour. I think the movie was like an hour and a half, a little bit more than that though. But they packed in a lot of stuff in there, and
you never felt overwhelmed. Honestly, the movie gradually got better and better throughout the movie, which you don't see that a lot of times. Sometimes a movie peaks early or it peaks in the middle, but this was like some old school traditional movie making where.
Well, in my case, because me and P were talking about this movie briefly before this too, we both agreed that like near the end, it kind of got a little bit silly, even with among all the violence.
Yeah, no, they
got ridiculous a little bit.
They really look like they really sacrificed any type of like sensical storyline for just gratuitous violence.
Yeah, and I don't mind that. I actually love that.
And as I said before the cast, I said that is LB's type, the gratuitous violence for the sake of gratuitous violence. When it comes into the plot, I kind of get a little annoyed because I'm like, oh, this doesn't make any sense. But I mean, I won't complain too much.
Mm-hmm. But this is the thing, like, everybody always says that, but Pat's the nigga who gave the when the night comes to us. He the one who ran and raved about that movie.
Yeah, I love that shit. Yeah,
I was like, that was just like too much. Like, like.
I guess everyone has their. Has
the threshold.
Yeah, their threshold. Yeah, like
And even with the platform, I know. Yeah, I guess I'm the demented twisted fuck when it comes to the movies. Like I'm always the one who's suggesting, yo man, get this, check this out. Hold on, like they killed like 13 nuns in this movie, or they do this shit. Like, oh, demons eat people in this one. Like, and then y'all niggas be like, God damn, it's an LB movie. Fuck. Don't eat anything.
No. Well, no, it's just violence. It's that other shit. Like when we did that other shit with platform, you know, movies like that where there was a lot of negative behavior. That shit was.
Platform wasn't even that bad. Come on, well, it wasn't even that bad with that. It was just the eating, the food part that grossed you out.
The food, and the random nigga that was shitting from the top, from the top. Yeah, there was a lot of low class behavior. But it was very antisocial, bro. There was a lot.
Honestly, but I think the ending for this was better than the ending for Shoot 'Em Up, because I feel like Shoot 'Em Up got like ridiculous.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Like even more ridiculous, because it's like this nigga set up booby traps and like you don't even see this shit. Like,
yeah, but like I say, yeah, because the ending wasn't silly, because even as the shit got violent in the final act, you know, the silliness eventually wore off, because you know they had a normal, because it was like a normal end and a normal progression, and like I said, they left it open ended for more adventures. You know, i.e. a sequel. You know what I mean? So.
Okay, so with what that said, what y'all niggas scored? Like, I'm going with Pilot. Like, what was your score?
I'll say a 7. I'm gonna give it a 7.
Give it a 7? Okay.
Yeah, 7.
Any comments?
I second that 7.
Yeah, I mean, didn't expect it to be as what it was. So I mean, it surprised me. Again, the scoring. I think I asked earlier if RZA was a part of the scoring, because I love how the music and the placement of it, and obviously the fight scenes were crazy. So yeah, it's a solid 7 action flick. I'd recommend if you know ain't got shit to do and want to watch some action.
Yeah, not even mad at that. P.
I mean, like I said, it's a 7. It's a 7. I mean, if you're into gratuitous violence and that type of John Wick type shit, I mean, this is for you. I enjoyed it. So at times it got a little and then just a little nonsensical, but overall it was pretty dope. So
word. LB.
It's 10. I mean, it delivered. Like, honestly, it's one of those movies. Like, if you knew what you want, you know what you like, it didn't miss a beat. The story was good, the characters, the acting, the soundtrack, the music was beautifully placed and done well. The cinematography, the violence, it just clicked off every cylinder. Like, I really don't have anything bad about it. I like the whole, the ending was crazy, because then it got to like Rambo 5 type shit with the traps, and it was like on some Home Alone, Shoot 'Em Up, Rambo 5 shit. Like, and even seeing RZA come out in the flesh, and he's no longer a voice.
Yeah.
that took up the movie a whole other notch. So I'm like, okay, like it just did it for me. Like, I enjoyed the fuck out of it. That's a movie that I might even end up watching again. And I'm not like a dude who does that. Like,
yeah, no, you definitely are not. You don't. Usually you're good. I mean, or if you do, you don't watch it that soon.
right. Like, but like at least he's, at least rewatch certain parts or some shit. Like,
word.
Yeah, but I definitely fuck with it. It got my strong recommendation.
That's what it is.
Yeah, like you gotta really pick it apart to really get at it. I could, like, if you put it below a 5 or a 5, then it's really not for you.
Right? Yeah. And I can definitely see that. And I mean, my score, I'd give it an 8, because, like I said, I mean, the point thing is that it didn't waste anything. There wasn't really any wasted moments, and even the few scenes that were kind of like, had a lull, like it had a purpose. It was just to build, for the shit that was going to happen. Like, I mean, everything was explained clearly. Like, you know, even if it was just like, you know, it was, even if it took like a minute or two, it was explained clearly. And considering that the runtime it wasn't that long, it was like an hour and a half or so. So that was pretty damn good, because usually it's all about the details sometimes. So there was no open-ended questions, and like I said, the action was good and everything like that. I mean, my score the only thing it takes down, obviously, as I said before, is it got a little silly in the final act, even though I loved the violence, you know, but it righted itself, you know, in the ending, and then in the mid-credits scheme, mid-credits.
But you know what? That's another thing. The boss kill, like, cause it was almost a 9, but the boss kill did it a 10 for me.
Yeah, the boss.
You don't see a lot of creative, like, final boss kills in movies like that.
Technically, I'm surprised I didn't like kill him. The kill the main character too.
I thought he was gonna die right there.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because I was thinking, or at least like maim him, because like, yo, that's fucking ridiculous. Like, or some shit like that. Either way, he should have not been like walking so willy nilly after.
Yeah, but this is the fact that they just said, you know what, let's just do it. I was like, okay, at least y'all, you know, gave it some thought. Like, to have a movie that goes all out at the ending, and the guy gets killed on some normal, regular bullshit.
Yeah,
would be a letdown. And you know how a lot of times we always talk about, man, you know, the movie don't wrap itself up like Netflix ending. You know, this shit. You know, it wasn't no True Lies ending, but you know, the bad guy got his shit. That's, you know, that's all I had to say. My bad. I'm sorry.
No doubt. Yeah, and definitely. But like I said, you know, some of it was silly because you like, you know, if someone, you know, did ending like that, like, you know, something would happen. Either like they'd be deaf or blind or limbs blown off, something like that. You know, or just by what happened would be sheer luck if he was intact like that. You know, but
yo, low key, it was he had the complexion.
Facts.
Because you know who, I don't want to give too much away, but you know how someone else, you know.
Yeah, no, I definitely, you know, I definitely dig what you're saying, bro. So, but
he said it.
I mean, that was something I was speaking out with my friend. It was almost like he was like, oh, good, like that. Just the whole thing of, oh well, somebody's addicted to violence. But, you know, he's good for the last 15 years or so, and then breaking into the house just sets him back. I'm like, that's clearly only shit white people can get away with.
But no, they took the daughter's, like, bracelet. Like,
yeah, the daughter's bracelet. And then
that's what really did it. Because remember, like, nobody else in the house even fuck with her. But the daughter bracelet, that was also like, nigga.
And the funny thing is, did he even end up taking it? He just found it in the fucking basement or whatever. Oh man, no, but it's definitely we definitely fully. I recommend it. LB recommends it. Like, it's definitely a good watch, especially if it's a movie you're looking for just to waste a little time. You know, that's your movie. You know, and just like I said, you will not be disappointed. You know, like I said, so yeah, you know, Ring Gang gives a full recommendation. So yeah, if you see it, you can see it in the movie theaters, or, you know, order it on video on demand, or whatever way that you guys you digest your movies or get your movies, you know. So yeah, fully recommend it.